Hello, grammar students. Well, here we are, and the idea today is to analyze sentences together. Of course, you know Jorge has uploaded 2 short videos where he goes over some stages within the process of analyzing a sentence. And that's what we're going to do together. I'm going to analyze some sentences with you. As Jorge said, now we're going to focus on simple sentences, okay? Sentences made up of just one clause, because we haven't worked with subordinate clauses yet. I need a whiteboard in order to analyze a sentence. Let's think of this sentence. You have to try to do it at the same time, okay? The sentence reads, my neighbors are extremely noisy. All right? My neighbors are extremely noisy. Remember there was a step 0, which was read and understand, okay? The next step was identifying the verb within the sentence. Which is the verb in the sentence? I think we all agree it is are, which is a form of the verb to be. Okay? Next, we had to think of the kind of verb we are talking about. So this is something that you should all remember very well. Whenever you have a verb, you have to ask yourself whether the verb is, and these are the possibilities, intransitive, because it requires no objects or complements. If it is a linking verb, which requires a subjective complement, or an adverbial complement, a monotransitive verb, which is followed by a direct object, a detransitive verb, which is followed by an indirect object and a direct object, or a complex transitive verb, which requires a direct object and an objective complement. Okay? What about the verb to be, the one in our sentence? We all know the verb to be is a linking verb. Can you think of some of the linking verbs? For example, when they tell you that you look beautiful tonight, that look is a linking verb. Or when I'm growing a little bit tired, that grow, okay, is a linking verb, different from I'm growing tomatoes, which would be a transitive verb. Okay. Next step, do you remember? Next step was identifying subjects, which is the subject here, my neighbors. We all agree, don't we? Good. And the predicate, the rest, okay? What is not subject is the predicate. So now we write down here that this is the subject, and that was the function, but I can also refer to the category, okay? In terms of function, it is a subject. Now, what about the structure? What do I have here? A noun phrase, all right? And well, what is not the subject is the predicate. Next, oh, I forgot to add here, and we should be adding this. We had decided that the verb to be is a linking verb. Okay. Now, within my neighbors, if we believe this is a noun phrase, we are saying that there is a head, that there is a word which is being expanded. I think we all agree that that word is the head noun, neighbors. Now, which is the structure of a phrase. You have a head, and you may have pre and post modifiers. In this case, we have no post modifiers, but we do have a pre-modifier determiner. Okay? Well, now, next step, we move back to the predicate, and as we know this is a linking verb, we know that what comes next is the subjective complement. And I hope you can see that this is a unit, isn't it? It is a unit, and we already said that this unit is the subjective complement. And now we have to think of the structure, okay, of the category. Is this a noun phrase? No, it's not. Look at the head. This is an adjectival phrase. Why? Because the head here, the head is an adjective, the word noisy, which is pre-modified by an intensifier, an adverb. Okay? So, this would be, it is a little bit untidy here, but this would be the analysis of this first sentence. Okay? Subject and predicate. The subject is a noun phrase. Head, neighbors, a pre-modifier determiner, the possessive, a linking verb, followed by a subjective complement, which is an adjectival phrase. Head, adjective, noisy, and intensified by the adverb extremely. Are we doing well? All right, let's move on now to another sentence. Let me erase. And imagine I say, my beautiful daughter is living in Mexico. My beautiful daughter is living in Mexico. Reading and understanding. Next, we have to identify the verb. Do we agree the verb is, let me find this. The verb is living. Okay. Remember that if you have more than one word, it means that you probably have you have a main verb and an auxiliary verb. Which is the main verb here? The main verb here is living. And this is an auxiliary, okay? A primary auxiliary. You all know this is an example of the present progressive tense. Okay. In order to decide what kind of verb it is, we have to concentrate, remember, on main verbs. In this case, what about living? Yes, it is an intransitive verb. An intransitive verb. At least in this particular example, remember that sometimes you can use a verb transitively or intransitively. You can eat at home, and then it is an intransitive verb, or you can eat a sandwich, and then it is a monotransitive verb. But in this case, is living is an intransitive verb. Next, we have to mark subject predicate. Once again, the subject is at the very beginning. All right? And once again, this subject is a noun phrase. Very frequently, the subject of the sentence is a noun phrase. And the rest, as we said before, is the predicate. I'm trying to be neat, which is not at all easy. We know then this is the predicate. Let's move on to the subject, to the next step. We said it was a noun phrase, we have to identify a head. Which is the head? In this case, the head is the noun. The head is the noun daughter. And you have two pre-modifiers. As before, you have a pre-modifier determiner, and you also have a pre-modifier which is an adjective. Okay? My beautiful daughter. Then within the predicate, we know this is an intransitive verb, which means I will have no objects or complement. So what about this unit? What about in Mexico? Of course, in Mexico is very clearly, it is an adverbial. It is an adverbial and it is a prepositional phrase. A prepositional phrase. Remember, in the case of prepositional phrases, we don't find a head, but a preposition. And then the word Mexico here, which is what we call the object to the preposition, and it is a noun phrase. And here we have our second sentence. And I'm going to stop this video in case I make a mistake and I have to do it all over again. So we'll have several short videos.